Well, welcome to Awake with Jevon. I'm Jevon Pera. We are discovering guides that point the way. And we're pointing the way to what I hope to be awakening. I have the privilege today to have Gary Deighan. He is a practitioner of what's called OmniEnergetics. It's basically a channel straight to God where he becomes the go-between, the channel to the energy that God uses for all things, really. So nice to have you here.
Thank you. Pleased to
So
be here.
good. It's good to have you here. So Gary is in Scotland, and so for those of you who don't speak Scottish, uh, you are in for a treat. tell, tell, tell me where in Scotland are you at?
Glasgow.
Oh, excellent. Well, good. Well, tell me, man, what has been your journey to awakening up to this moment? Well, let me ask this too. What is awakening to you, and what has been your journey to get to this point?
Right. To me, awakening would be the expansion of your personality to such a degree that you recognize the importance of integrity. And once you recognize the importance of integrity, then you will start to integrate all that is about yourself. Now, what you find is when you get to a certain level of integrity, you start becoming attuned to certain intuitions, as people like to call them. It's like a higher state of integrity, and you find out more about yourself. You ask questions and you get clear answers because you reflect through integrity
So,
yourself.
so it's a basic. The first step, I would imagine, willingness, and then you start to develop your integrity, and then integrity starts to develop, and you get intuition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Integrity is the first step.
first
It's
step.
about understanding your beliefs and definitions, how you feel. Just being honest about this, what you think, what you say, and what you're doing, the congruence of all of them, and that's integrity. And then once you get up to that level, things start becoming a lot more clear because you're more clear in yourself, and then therefore your intuition will start to become more clear.
And this intuition that you're speaking of, this would be tied into your work, right? This is basically hearing God's voice. I mean, is that a way to describe intuition?
It's a way to describe it. Yes, I mean you can once you start to recognize your intuition, once your intellectual side recognizes your spiritual side and the value of this, you will start to listen. You start to recognize what you hear. Um, it's a skill that can be developed with willingness. Um, Now we have many past lives. Each of us have past lives, and we've worked our way up to a certain level. We've done work which leads us to certain individuals that would attune us. Now that's where I got to in this lifetime, where I was attuned to uh, a certain energy work called OmniEnergetics,
Hmm.
which is 144th dimensional energy work. That's direct from source, direct from God, and
So when you
acts
say
as a channel.
144th dimension, is this there? I mean, most people are in third dimension, correct?
That's right.
Right. So here we are in third dimension, and then fourth dimension starts to tap into the energetic world, right? With selfless action and love. Do I understand this right? So just, I mean, that's third and fourth, and then fifth dimension, we're talking about light body and astral body, and like this part of us that doesn't have anything to do with this clunky third dimensional body. And so now you're saying you're connecting with 144th dimension. I mean, I'm assuming that's going right up to the top, to source, to God. Is
That's,
that right?
that's where it's coming from. That's source right up there.
Yeah, wonderful. And so for those of us who haven't experienced this, I mean, because this seems to be out of this world. Like, how could that be? It's incredible. I mean, why you?
Why not? You know? I mean, it just is. That's how I see that.
So awakening is when you get to the point in integrity that you're able to get intuition
Mhm.
in order intuition just to hear from God, or what? I mean, what part of that is
Well,
into or awakening?
getting to the level of intuition, you start to use your intuition to learn more about who you are, and that includes going up dimensions. That
Got it.
includes learning who your higher self is. It entails learning how to activate your different levels of light body.
Got it. So in with the intuition, you're learning. You're
Mhm.
you're you're basically waking up to this whole other world that's always been here.
Aye.
So that would be the awakening then, and it's almost infinite in the possibilities that you can learn about yourself, really, because you're talking about new identity.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I
Mind blowing.
mean, from a linear time standpoint, um, every moment from our perception, every moment we are a completely different person,
Mm,
a completely different person. Now, the size of the jump, that can determine through your definitions and your beliefs how big that jump is. We can go up dimensions in an instant.
mm-hmm. So we're moving dimensions. We're moving. We're becoming more and more and expanding more and more, moment by moment. With just our own intention, we can this can happen, right? So what? How do we know? I mean, how do we know that we're going the right way? Because we can move we can move positive polarity, right, more towards the light, and we can move negative polarity, can't we? Like go toward dark and service of self, and away from moving towards uh source, right? Or can we? What's the
It's all a
dance?
choice.
It's a choice.
It's all a choice. I mean, you always you always want to be within integrity and learn about yourself. You always want to serve the highest good, and you
The
always
highest
want to
good.
do the right thing.
Yeah, so how do you know if you're moving towards the highest good or not? How do we know that we're moving towards that?
Well, working with integrity, first of all, when you've got that down, and then you've got your intention to move up, move towards the light, and intention to know more about yourself.
Got it. So
That
just
is
those
all
two
the.
things. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, tell me about OmniEnergetics. How, first of all, what is that basically, and then how do you work with people with this gift?
Sure. OmniEnergetics is a life enhancement and healing technique. It opens up the various energy pathways and channels within the body so that a natural and normal flow of energy takes place. How I work with a client is it's called distance healing.
Distance
Now I
healing.
can, it's distance healing, and I can use a video call, much like we're doing just now,
Right.
and that gives people the confidence to see what I'm doing during the session. Now I don't need to do a video call, but I prefer to do this in the first session, just so the client's sitting down and can get used to the energy and see how I'm working. You know. And what we do is during the course of treatments is, obviously if the client's used to the energy, then we progress through what the client wants out of the treatments. They can, during the session, they can hold an idea in their head, and we can pretty much work on anything that they want.
It's good. So anything that people are having trouble with, fear, anxiety, anything less than complete bliss. And then even then, maybe someone in complete bliss would want some guidance or some direct intercession from source.
Aye, that's right.
That's wonderful.
That's right.
That's wonderful. So it'll be a Zoom call. It'll be, or they can just connect with you, and your website is DeighanOmniEnergetics.com, which I will put in the body so people can see the link. And you do, how does it work? Can you do sessions? Do you do a free session? Do you do an introductory session of some sort so people can get to know you?
I do an introductory session. I give everybody a free introductory session, and that gets them used to the energy. And then from there, a client can decide whether to take a course, what type of course they would like to take. That's right. I mean, it's a very powerful energy, and it is very, very gentle.
Yes.
It's always safe, and it always goes to where it's required.
Yes. That's, and that's my experience. You've worked with me a number of times, and always safe, always goes where it's required. And wonderful. It's a wonderful experience. Well, wonderful. Well, if you could give somebody that is watching this, someone that is thinking, wow, I would like to connect to source in the highest level. Well, I wonder what I can do besides connecting with you, of course, that's why you're here. But what would you suggest someone that is just living an everyday life that has this desire to connect directly with source somehow? What would somebody do to move towards that?
Understand that any intention to connect with source connects you with source. And going about your daily activities as serving God, it is as simple as that. Cooking your dinner, washing your clothes, doing the gardening, going to get your hair cut, hugging your kids. Everything is in service of God.
That's wonderful. So it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
I like
It's
easy.
supposed to be simple. But we humans, we like to complex stuff. We like to think it's harder than it is.
Yeah, I don't have to travel to Scotland. We go to a sacred site and kill some animals, and then I can connect with God. I don't have to do that.
No, you can do that if you want.
I can. Okay. Wonderful. I love that. That's so good. I mean, I have toddlers, and just being with my wife and being with my toddlers, and what a wonderful thing to remember. Like, wow, this is worshiping God right now, intending kindness and love with these little guys as they break everything in my house. It's a unique worship. But it is, right? So, wow, that's such a good word. Okay, well, I asked you this before, and no pressure, but if you could give us a message from source, what would God have us know right now as we're sitting in our pajamas watching some random podcast? What does God want us to know?
He wants you to know that you're all loved, you're all his children, and that anything that you're going through, you've simply chosen to feel his love more.
It's also simple.
Also simple.
Yes. Well, good, brother. Well, Gary, I really appreciate you. You're a beautiful man. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your your service to me and just everyone that you meet and people that you haven't met. And thank you for your work as a light worker. My hope is that more and more people in the world that are looking for healing, the healing that only Source can bring, that only Spirit can do, will connect with you and more people like you. And thank you. Love you.
Love you, my friend. Thank you.
So if you'd like to get a hold of Gary, Deighan, OmniEnergetics.com, and you can connect with him on Facebook too. You can find Gary Deighan. Uh, just search Gary Deighan, OmniEnergetics. You'll probably find him over there. He's the guy with that beautiful beard. If it's a guy that does not have a beard, that's not Gary. Don't click on him. That's good. Well, good, man. Any final words that we should know about you or working with you or finding you?
That's all the relevant information. You'll find me simple enough.
Good. All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.